Right. Hey, ladies, welcome to another Self Love Conversations. My name is Gloria Ward, and today we have an amazing entrepreneur, a wonderful lady, a traveler, and she is going to speak with us today about overcoming adversity. We've been talking about that for some time now. So I want to introduce you guys to Monique Pearson so that we can do more of a deep dive. I keep telling you guys, we're coming up into the fall. During the fall, most of the time we go within. We look at those things that we need to look at. Summer is over, spring is gone. And so now it's time to evaluate and see where we're going. So, Monique, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Gloria. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, when we talk about adversity,
Hmm.
people always want to avoid problems, right? It's like, adversity is like a scary word. It's like talking about death. How do you view adversity?
Well, at first, I would have to be transparent and say, probably like most people, like try to duck, dodge anything I can to get out of its way. But sometimes, after forethought, I have to think about it. This is an opportunity for me to continue to test my strength and test my faith, because that is when I see that most of us who are people of faith lean closer into that. And then we found out that we are capable of so much more when we go through those fires and go through those storms that adversity brings us. And it makes you appreciate everything you have that much more, because there was a fight, there was a struggle, there was something to overcome to get to the other side, versus as everything was easy breezy or a sunny day. So there's always, to me, a different positive perspective that you can take on that when it comes to adversity.
Yeah, and adversity, we all can speak about it now because we went through it. Like what
Mm.
is a personal story you could tell us as to why you now have this resilience with adversity?
You know what? When you said that, I'm gonna go with the first thing that came to my mind. Um, so in 2019, I had just got back to the States 3 months before the pandemic kicked off. I was living in Italy for 3 years, so I was
Mhm.
excited to come back to the States, and I had started the home buying process, and then boom, the pandemic hit. So I ended up having to live in an Airbnb for 8 months during the
Wow.
pandemic, being in a city where I didn't have any friends, I didn't have any family, and being stuck in one room for 23 hours a day, that's like solitary confinement. That probably has been one of the hardest emotional trials that I've had to go through and come out of, and still be sane, still not have, I will say, the first probably month or two, I started seeing and showing the signs of depression, and quickly got therapy online, because that is one that I think has that tested me, because they stopped the construction, so I couldn't leave if I wanted to. I was stuck in this one room for 8 months.
Mm.
So I would say that situation prepared for the situation that I am now, and that's what I think. Sometimes when you go through such adverse situations, it helps to strengthen you for future trials and tribulations. I'm moving again for another new position and waiting for housing, and I'm in another room again. Luckily, this time I'm able to move freely. I'm not in a pandemic. I don't have a kitchen.
Yeah.
So I just like, you know what, Monique, we are 360, but of course not as adverse situations. So I had to think about that. Like, this situation prepared me. I was prepared, and didn't hurt me as much because of what I've been through before.
Yeah. And I tell people when we go through adversity, the biggest thing that we're learning is how to let go, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing that we're learning. Like we don't want things to change, but we're being
Right.
feeling like we're being forced to be put in these situations where we have to make hard decisions. We're put in situations where we have to look at ourselves. We put in situations where we have to be able to, really say to ourselves, like, okay, I need to go ahead and make a decision so that I'm able to really move forward to do something else. To me, I don't want to change. I really don't want to change. I want things to go my way, the way I want them to go, as they are planned. But as you said, when you figure it out and you come out on the other side, you're like, okay, one thing I learned
Mm-hmm.
is that I'm able to sit with myself and kind of be a little bit resilient. So now when I got to do this thing again, I know what I need to be doing, right? And it looks like we lost her right quick. So when she comes back, we'll go ahead and get things going. So it's like, Monique, I know you came back. So you back?
I was like, oh, started freezing real bad and then it dropped.
So I'm like, now in your life, with all the
Mm-hmm.
adversity you have faced, what are some of the things that
Mm-hmm.
you can tell a younger woman who is
Mm.
just living her life and might be facing some
Right.
kind of adversity?
I will encourage her and tell her that troubles don't last always. And that's just because you are in the midst of this storm and you maybe cannot see on the other side, trust and believe that this is just for this moment. This moment doesn't necessarily translate to the rest of your life. And I think sometimes it's hard for us to be able to see beyond right now and to rest assured that you will get through this. I would definitely empower her and encourage her to let her know that you will make it through this and to continue to envision yourself on the other side of where you currently are to where you want to be and put your energy there versus continuing to pour your energy into the problem is what I would
Hmm.
encourage her at that time. Because I know when we're younger, it's like the end of the world
Right.
anytime a problem comes and you just continue to put your energy into the problem. We cannot get beyond the problem. Whereas I know mindset, it took me a long time to figure that out though. So I definitely would love to share with her, like just having that positive mindset and redirecting that energy that instead of focus on the negative and try to see where you're going to be on the other side of this helps to make you get through that process even easier.
But I would say, Monique, that is so hard to do. You know why? Because you're looking at what's around you, right? You're looking at the problem every day, and you're
Mm,
saying to yourself,
mm,
how is this going to get better? Knowing that what I'm looking at right now is I'm about to be homeless. I'm looking at my bank account and I'm looking at the money I have. How can I take my eyes off that when that is the focal point of my reality? Like, what are some of the things that you did? Did you pray? Did you do affirmations? Like, how did you start to change
oh,
that mindset?
yeah. Okay. Yep. Those two. Well, there's several things that you just said. One, keeping your mind on the problem. How is that helping you? That's one thing right there. When you say we can't get past it, but okay, we've been giving energy to it. Is that helping us to get beyond it? And one other thing that I started doing was journaling. I have certain journals for different things. One is an affirmation journal that I start off every morning with 5 affirmations of the future me, the future self, the higher self, pouring energy into and projecting that as to where I want to go and who I would like to see me at my highest self. Prayer, most definitely. I think that is the main tool that has helped me to get past those moments where I can't see how am I going to pay this bill when I was in those dire times? How am I have food to buy groceries? And then, far as praying that somebody may come as the conduit to be able to help me see that, and without fail, every single time it played off. That trusting and walking by faith that God is not going to leave me nor forsake me. That's when you have to lean on your faith when it comes to times like that. And then sometimes we have to let our pride go. I know I'm a prideful person, and a lot of times we have a lot of people or resources who will be willing to help us, but we are refusing to take that help because we don't want so and so to look at us, to judge us, to think less of us. And at the same time, we are hurting ourselves even more because we're refusing what may be your way out.
Right.
So those
And
would be the three that I would say.
and those are so important because, when we look at it, just like you said, pride leads to destruction. You got to be able to surround
Mm-hmm.
yourself with good people. You got to be able to know that this too
Yeah.
shall pass, and you got to be aware enough to recognize what you're in so the cycle won't repeat, right? So what are the
Yeah.
things that you're
Mm-hmm.
doing now for the community in your business to, help women come overcome adversity?
Well, I started actually the same time I started my business, Swole. I started a charity organization called Professionista. And
Wow.
what we do is I provide clothing, professional clothing for women who who are in a current struggle and may not have gotten their first couple of checks yet so that they can have the proper attire and accessories to wear to work. So we are equipping them with that so that way they can go into the door, as you always say, far as we look good, we feel good, which equates to that until they can get established. And we also offer mentorship services to them as well for their respective career fields. I partnered up with like 20 of my associates in various entities for professional backgrounds who are willing to help and serve and pour into these ladies. And what I have coming up in the future is I'm hosting a retreat for women who suffer from PTSD. So
Mm.
I'm super excited because God has placed that on my heart to serve. This is the next level of serving for me beyond Professionista in this capacity and focus solely on women because I know we have a lot of resources for our men, but I feel as if we can never have enough for exclusively for women. So I'm excited to be able to serve in that way.
And I love that. You know why? Because, some women don't even recognize that they have it. And then, it's not until, again, some adversity or life-changing, thing happens in their life where they're like, wow, where's this all coming from? Why am I panicking? Why am I being upset with my children? How come I can't perform well at work? And so I just feel
Mm,
like that is something that is needed because once you understand what's going on, now you know how to tackle it, right? Just like when we talking about adversity, it doesn't matter if you're a business owner, it doesn't matter if you're a career woman, it doesn't matter if you are a young lady just starting out. We all are going to face adversity and it's never going to change,
hmm
right? It's never going to change because we're
Yeah. So
always
either learn how to
constantly
cope or
elevating.
yeah.
Exactly. We're always
Yes, ma'am.
constantly elevating. So tell us how we can follow you and how we can connect with you so that we can get the word out.
Oh, yeah. So you can reach me at my website, which is www.soaring.com. You can hit me on my business page on Facebook, soaringwithoutlimits.com, IG under soaringwithoutlimits.com, and LinkedIn under Monique Pearson. So I'm on all those platforms.
That is so amazing. Monique, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you. And let us know about the retreat and the events and everything that you're doing. We would love to go ahead and, promote you and let the women know because I think it is very important, especially with the PTSD and also just speaking life, into people. And I know
Yes.
that you do travel and all that stuff. So even though we handle serious issues, we still love to have fun. So I hope you stay connected with us.
Oh, most definitely. Thank you so much for having me. It's definitely been a pleasure.
Absolutely. And you have a good night, okay?
You as well.
All right. Bye.